Before he became the richest man on Earth, before rockets landed themselves, before electric cars took over highways, there was a quiet, bullied boy in South Africa who lived inside his own imagination. A boy who was beaten for being different, ignored for being strange, and underestimated by nearly everyone. Yet that same boy would grow up to reshape the internet, reinvent the car, challenge governments, and push humanity toward the stars. This is where his story begins. If you travel back to the year 1984, you would see millions of kids spending their afternoons at arcades, smashing buttons on bright game machines. But in a small house in Pretoria, South Africa, one 12-year-old kid wasn't playing video games. He was building one. His name was Elon Musk, and even then, he wasn't like everyone else. Elon didn't fit into the typical childhood picture. He wasn't the loud, energetic kid sprinting in the playground. He wasn't the class clown. He wasn't even the kid surrounded by books at the library. He was something in between, a quiet observer, someone who rarely spoke unless spoken to, and someone whose mind was always wandering into places no one else could see. Teachers thought he had a hearing problem. They even suggested medical testing because in the middle of class, Elon would completely zone out. A question could be asked directly to him. He wouldn't flinch. People assumed he was ignoring them or being rude, but he wasn't. Those moments were something entirely different. Elon was mentally running simulations, imagining engines, models, worlds, systems, sometimes for minutes at a time. His brain wasn't malfunctioning, it was overheating with ideas. His mother later said that when he fell into those deep thinking states, you could set off bombs and he wouldn't notice. At home, Elon found refuge in books, not just children's books, but thick encyclopedias, science fiction novels, engineering guides, and history. He read at a speed adults couldn't understand. Entire volumes disappeared within a few days. His imagination wasn't made of fairy tales. It was built from physics, mathematics, and galactic possibilities. One evening, while he was outside with his cousins, one of the younger girls said she was terrified of the dark. Elon didn't comfort her with soft words. He simply replied, "Darkness is just the absence of photons." His cousins stared at him, confused. To them, it sounded weird, even robotic. But that was Elon. Logical, analytical, and fact-driven, even as a child. His different way of thinking came with consequences. School was brutal, not just challenging, brutal. Elon wasn't athletic, wasn't socially skilled, and wasn't part of any group. That made him the perfect target. At age 10, he was pushed down a staircase by a group of boys and beaten until he lost consciousness. His face was so badly damaged that he had to spend a week recovering at home. No child deserves that kind of pain, but Elon lived through it often. And yet, every wound became armor, every insult strengthened him, every rejection sharpened him. But trouble wasn't only outside. Inside his home, life was falling apart. Until he was 8, Elon had what looked like a happy family. His parents and siblings spent time together, went on adventures, and shared a comfortable life. But almost overnight, everything changed. His parents divorced, and the emotional atmosphere of the family shattered. The stability was gone. In a surprising move, Elon chose to live with his father after the divorce, something he would later say was one of the biggest mistakes of his life. Their relationship was extremely complicated, and Elon rarely speaks about it even today. But when he was 10 years old, something happened that would reshape the direction of his entire existence. He discovered computers. During a trip to a mall, he saw a small personal computer displayed under bright fluorescent lights. For most kids, it was nothing more than a strange-looking machine. But for Elon, it was a doorway to something extraordinary. He begged his father to buy it. Once the computer arrived at home, Elon began teaching himself how to program. A programming guide was included, designed to be completed in 6 months. Elon finished the entire thing in 3 days. He barely slept. He didn't stop to eat. He typed, tested, broke code, fixed it, and kept going. His brain clicked into place like a machine built for this moment. Soon, he created his first video game, a space shooter he called Blastar. He sold it for $500. This wasn't just a kid building a game. It was a kid building his future. By the time he reached high school, he realized something important. South Africa wasn't the place where he could achieve big things. He wanted to move to America, the place he believed embraced invention, innovation, and ambition. But going directly to the United States wasn't simple, so he found another path. Canada. His mother had Canadian citizenship, which meant Elon could apply too, and that became his ticket out. At 17,
With almost no money, a few clothes, and a head full of ideas, Elon left South Africa. He took odd jobs in Canada, cutting logs, cleaning boilers, helping on farms. The work was physically exhausting, but Elon didn't care. Every dollar he earned pushed him closer to his dream. Eventually, he joined Queen's University and then transferred to the University of Pennsylvania. It was in America that his vision truly started evolving. During the 1990s, the internet was growing. Websites were appearing everywhere, but the world wasn't organized yet. If someone wanted to find a local business, say a restaurant, a furniture store, or a dentist, they still used thick yellow phone directories. Finding directions required unfolding a massive paper map and trying not to get lost in the maze of lines and symbols. Elon saw opportunity. He imagined a digital directory, a website where all local businesses were listed, categorized, and connected to an online map. Today, this sounds normal. Back then, it was revolutionary. With his brother Kimball, Elon launched his first startup, Zip2. It started in a tiny apartment that doubled as their office. Elon slept on the couch. He wrote code overnight, often until sunrise. Kimball spent his days going door to door convincing business owners to get online, something most people didn't even understand at the time. They worked non-stop, no weekends, no vacations, just ambition, caffeine, and a belief that the internet was the future. Slowly, people started listening. Zip2 grew, investors started appearing, newspapers partnered with them, and by 1999, just 4 years after two brothers worked out of a tiny apartment, Zip2 was purchased by Compaq in a deal worth over $300 million. Elon made $22 million from that sale. He wasn't just the bullied, awkward kid anymore. He was now a multi-millionaire. The world finally saw what he was capable of. But what Elon did next would shape the rest of his destiny. Instead of relaxing, instead of taking a vacation, instead of buying a mansion and disappearing, Elon did something different. He reinvested almost everything because Zip2 was only the beginning. Now that Elon Musk had millions in his bank account at just 27, what would he do with it? Retire? Celebrate? Buy luxury cars? No. He was about to disrupt an industry even bigger than local business listings. He was about to challenge banks, launch a company called X.com, and unknowingly create what would become PayPal. Part 2 reveals how Elon Musk reinvented online finance and how that success pushed him toward rockets, electric cars, and global influence.